coming back at you again from Walker's Music. Yet another word for the day. We'd like to say, first of all, good morning to everybody. We give God the glory, as usual. We thank Him for another day. Thank you, Jesus. He didn't have to wake us this morning, but He did. Taught us with the finger of love. Eyes flew wide open. Got up, got on our another day's journey, people. One that we never seen before, and we never will see again. However, we give one together. So also thanks to the YouTube fam from Baby Justice all the way up to Big Papa JT. Where's Mama JT? And you know the routine. Yes, we love you, and there ain't too much you can do about it. This morning, people, I want to cut through the chase a little bit, and I just want to discuss some things here. And just a few things that came to my mind, and sitting here in my little morning meditation, I'm thinking about things past, present, and also thinking of things to come. I often thought about Jesus when he dealt with the Pharisee and when he dealt with the regular people, how he had so much compassion with the regular people, and he to the one that was condemned, that was brought to him, that was being condemned, he always had compassion on those people, and seeing their need. Jesus looked through our fault and He see our need. Oh, I'm so glad that Jesus does that. But at any rate, if you notice, have you noticed that his attitude with the Pharisee though? This is how come I said, don't let us get that Pharisee spirit. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. Don't get that Pharisee spirit. Now, one would think that Jesus had a burning dislike toward the Pharisee to a degree, and to some extent to make it even personal. You would think, well, Jesus just had it in for them. Well, I don't think it was that, people. Now you hear Mitty Man say he don't think it was that. Let's look at that Pharisee spirit I was talking about. What did the Pharisee, what was the main characteristic of a Pharisee? Now, you got to do a little historical background search. What were a Pharisee? Well, they were teachers of the law. They were devout, should have been devout men. Actually, they were priests. A lot of them were priests, and they were teachers of the law, if you were mine. The Pharisee, you had sects of Jews. Let me see. I mean, this may not be a good example, but I'm gonna use it anyway. It's just like in our nation government, we got two main political parties. We got the Republicans, and then we got the Democrats. Well, let's use that Sanhedrin Council, which was made up of Pharisees and Sadducees. That were two different sects of Jews. In other words, just like our denominational system that we have in our society today. You got the Baptists and the Methodists. They don't agree. The Baptists do things this way. The Methodists does it the same thing, but they do it in a different way. Let's just put it like that. But nevertheless, the Pharisees, they were teachers of the law. And the scribes, those are people that did the writings. They were the one that did the transcribing of the scriptures and the law. Therefore, they were called scribes. A scribe is a writer. Well, the reason why, and this is Mitty Man. This is Mitty Man take on this now, because this is what I get out when I study the scriptures and when I see the way Jesus dealt with those Pharisees. This Mitty Man take. I feel that God, Jesus, He's frowned on them so because they should have known. They were the one that uplifted themselves, and they wanted to be spoken of as Mr. Rabbi and all of that. And they were teachers of the law, but they weren't doing it. They were hypocrites. Jesus spoke of that many times. It wasn't, I don't think, that Christ would just dislike them. Because remember, Nicodemus was a Pharisee. Nicodemus was a Pharisee. No, but his heart was right. See, Jesus looks at the heart. And so he knew that their heart was evil. That's how come he had that hot burning dislike of them. It wasn't that, I don't believe them personal, but it was that spirit in them, that devilish spirit. Because you know he told them, so you are your father the devil. Remember Jesus told them that. So this is how come I believe Jesus was like that with the old Pharisee, a certain one, because of the fact they laid heavy burdens on the people, but he had compassion on people that were caught up in sin. Because Jesus said, I came to save the lost. See, people, and many man gonna move on. That's the thing that I try to get people to see. See, Jesus came to save sinners. That's how come many man is not too quick to put them in hell. I don't want to get the Pharisee spirit on me. And I don't want Jesus to have that hot burning dislike in many man, because I'm so self-righteous and I'm better than everybody else. That's what I feel like Jesus was speaking of when he went to them, when it came to them Pharisees. He told them, you're a blind guide, you're a hypocrite, you're strained out of gnat and you swallow a camel. Now I know that might miss some people there when he said you strain out a gnat and swallow a camel, but let me see, can I give you on this last few minutes an example of what Jesus meant by that. Strain out a gnat, swallow a camel. Okay, many man used to be the biggest drinker. I could drink until I got satisfied. And I could turn up gin, I could turn up bourbon, I could turn up anything sour. Drink it and go on, never make a frown. But now, when we get in time to come to church, to take the church communion, the Lord's Supper, and they had a little thimble of wine about this much, and then I turn it up, then I want to start like it's choking me. Strain out a gnat, swallow a camel. You're a hypocrite. Now you could take a whole half a pint or a pint of gin and turn it up and then just about drink the whole bottle and never frown. But now you want to frown up and then gag out a little bit of thimble of wine. You're straining out a gnat, people, and you're swallowing a camel. We need to stop that, people, and that's what Jesus was talking about. That's what I think Jesus was talking about, is that hypocritical spirit that we have, that more than holier than thou attitude that we have when we get around certain people. And we will want to look down, but we got to remember, people, that once we was all lost. You see, the same God that saved you out of your mess, he can save me out of mine. Do you think that God lost all of his power when he saved you? He used it all up on you? No. He can save this one over here too. And that's the attitude, people, that we should have when we come to dealing with other people that are caught up in faults and caught up in a mess. Consider yourself, lest you be tempted. That's what Jesus always said. And that's how come I believe Jesus always frowned. And he gave those Pharisees that was such a hard time because of that spirit within them. He said, you are of your father the devil, and his deeds you will do. So people, let us examine our own selves. Remember, Jesus said every tree is known by the fruit. So now, if you just self-examine your own self, don't judge me now. Don't examine me. Examine you. You examine yourself. Many man going to examine his. And at the end of the day, when you examine yourself, look at the fruit that you have bared all day. And whatever that fruit is, that'll tell you what kind of tree you are. Whether you be a good tree or whether you be a bad one. If it comes out to people that we find ourselves lacking in any area, what we need to do, we need to go to Jesus ourselves and Lord, forgive me. Straighten me up, clean me up, because I can't do it myself. And let me walk in the way that I should. Well, I don't want to be a bad tree. I want to be a good tree. That's all we got to do, people. And stop judging others. Let's get our own eyes straightened out first. And then once we can see clear, then we can go and try to help somebody else. With that being said, this is Middleman saying peace and goodbye.